preparing the live stream. Screen share. कोई गाएगा आज? मैं गाऊं। नहीं गाता। कुमकुमात कंचनाभ गर्भहारी गौरभा पीतनाचिताब्द गंध कीर्तिनिंदिशोरभा वल्लवेश सूनु सर्व वंचितार्थ साधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्मा दास्य दास्तु राधिका कौरविंद कांति निंद चित्तपट शातिका कृष्ण मत भृंग केली फूल पुष्प वाटिका कृष्ण नित्य संगमार्थ पद्म बंधु राधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका सौकुमार्य शिष्ट पल्लवाली कीर्ति निग्रह चंद्र चंदनोत्पलेन्दु सेव्य शीत विग्रह स्वाभिमर्श वल्लवेश कामताप बाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्मा दास्य दास्तु राधिका विश्ववंदयोवताभिवंदिता पिया रमा रूप नव्य यौवनादि संपदान यत समा शील हर्द लीलया च स यतोऽस्ति नाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका रासलस्य गीत नर्म शतकलाली पंडिता प्रेम रम्य रूप वेश सद्गुणाली मंडिता विश्वनव्य गोप योषिदालितोऽपि याधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका नित्य नव्य रूप केली कृष्ण भाव संपदा कृष्ण राग बंद गोप योवतेषु कंपदा कृष्ण रूप वेश केली लग्न सत समाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका श्वेत कंप कंठ कश्रु गदगदादि संचिता मार्ष हर्ष वमतादि भावभूष संचिता कृष्ण नेत्र तोषी रत्न मंडनाली धाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका या कृष्णार्ध कृष्ण विग्रह विप्र योग संत शांत तोत्निका दैन्य चपलादि भव वृंद मोदिता यत्न लोभ कृष्ण संग निर्गल काखिलाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका अष्टकेन यस्वमेन नोटि कृष्ण वल्लभा दर्शने शैलजादि योषिदाली दुर्लभा कृष्ण संग नंदितात्म दास्य सिंधु भाजनम तम करोति नंदिताली संचयाशु साजनम. Meaning, Shrishti, you read.
Her splendorous golden complexion feels the pride of a golden lotus flower, anointed with a tinge of red kumkum vermilion. Her sweet fragrance mocks the fame of the aroma of a lotus flower, sprinkled with saffron powder. She is fully qualified to fulfill all the desires of the son of the king of the cowherd man. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Her amazing and colorful silken garments make the splendor of red coral feel ashamed. She is a garden of blossoming flower, while the maiden bumblebee named Krishna performs amorous pastimes. She worships the sun god daily in order to attain the continual association of her beloved Krishna. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Her charming youthful delicacy negates the fame of the freshly sprouted leaves. Her refreshing form is worthy of being served by the cooling moon. Sandalwood paste, lotus flowers, and camphor. When she touches the master of the gopis, she dispels the burning heat of his lusty desires. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the mercy of her own lotus feet. Although the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, is adorned by other youthful goddesses who are themselves glorified throughout the universe, still she is nowhere near Sri Radhika. The matter of beauty, praiseworthy, youthfulness, or other divine feminine opulences. There is no one in the material or the spiritual worlds that is superior to Radhika in the expression of naturally loving pastimes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She is very learned in many transcendental arts, such as performing in the rasa dance, singing, and joking. She is decorated with many divine qualities, such as loving nature, exquisite beauty, and wonderful garments and ornaments. Even among the cowherd damsels of Braj, who are praised by the entire universe, she is the best in every way. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She possesses the opulence of eternal youthful beauty, eternal pastimes, and eternal love for Krishna. Her ecstatic feelings of love for Krishna cause the gopis, who are also in love with Krishna, to tremble. She is always attached to meditating on Sri Krishna, beautiful form, ornaments, garments, and pastimes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. She is graced with eight ecstatic symptoms, sattvic bhav, such as trembling, perspiring, standing up on body hairs, tears, faltering of the voice, and so forth. She is adorned with different ecstatic emotional ornaments such as impatience, joy, contrariness, and so on and so forth. She is decorated with beautiful jewels that give total delight to the eyes of Krishna. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. If she is apart from Krishna for even half a moment, she becomes stricken with rest, suffering, restlessness, and a multitude of other ecstatic symptoms of separation. When she regains the association of Krishna after some effort, then all her anguish immediately vanishes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. It is very difficult for Parvati and other exalted goddesses to attain even a glimpse of Srimati Radharani, who is dear to Lord Krishna. But if someone glorifies her by reciting these 8 verses, then she who is delighted by Krishna's continuous association will grant the sweet nectar of her personal service to that person, who thereby enters the assembly of her similarly delighted girlfriends.
इंग्लिश बड़ी इम्पर्सनल लैंग्वेज है। देखो जो चैट में मैं भेजता हूँ उनको, ये देखो, ये वाला, ये डिस्क्रिप्शन देखो, ठीक है। उसकी आकर्षक युवा विनम्रता हौसले से अंकुरित पत्तियों की प्रसिद्धि को नकारती है। उनका ताजा रूप शीतल तक चंद्रमा, चंदन का पेस्ट, कमल के फूल और कपूर परोसे जाने के योग्य है। जब वह गोपियों के मालिक को छूती है, यानी कि गोपीनाथ को छूती है, तब उनकी विलासी इच्छाओं की जलती हुई गर्मी को दूर करती है। श्री राधिका मुझे अपने चरण कमलों में सेवा प्रदान करें। लेकिन दिस वाज ऐसे मैंने एक बार गूगल ट्रांसलेशन में डाल दिया, तो फोर्थ वर्स, थर्ड वर्स, सॉरी। Anyways, we have to switch to Hindi eventually. No, Shida Mataji, we can't leave you. But just
प्रभु जी फील ज्यादा हिंदी में ही हो पाता है।
मजा रस तो हिंदी में ही है। एक मिनट। ओके। ओम ज्ञान तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन बुद्धिं रूपकदां मह्यं ददाति स्वदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखानुतांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिय आंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ठीक है, तो इसको मैं बंद कर देता हूँ थोड़े टाइम के लिए ऑडिट्स में। हो गया। अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मानुरावृतम अनुकूलन कृष्णानुशीलनम भक्ति उत्तमा। श्वेता माता जी, from you will start general description of Sai Bhava.
General description of Sthai Bhava. Additional comment. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 2.5.1, Sthai Bhava is defined in the following way. Aviruddhan viruddhamscha bhavanyo vasatam nayan surajeva virajeta sasthai bhava uchyate. That bhava which is resplendent like the best of kings, keeping under its control the aviruddha or compatible emotions such as laughter, and the viruddha or incompatible emotions such as anger is known as Sthai Bhava. Rati for Krishna is known as Sthai Bhava. This Rati is of two types, Mukhya, primary, and Gauna, secondary. Rati, that is the essence of the combination of the Hladini and Samvit potencies, and thus purely composed of Shuddha Sattva, is known as Mukhya Rati. Mukhya Rati is of two types, Swartha, self-nourishing, and Parartha, nourishment-giving. The term Swartha means that when a devotee situated in one of the 5 primary relationships with Krishna experiences different emotions, those emotions will act on this Sthai Bhava to nourish it in the case of favorable emotions, or to cause unbearable despondency in the case of unfavorable emotions. Because this type of Rati nourishes its own Sthai Bhava, it is called Swartha or self-nourishing. When Rati, instead of nourishing its own Sthai Bhava, recedes into the background and nourishes one of the 7 secondary emotions, it is called Parartha, nourishment giving. These 7 secondary emotions of laughter and so on are different from Swartha Rati, which is purely composed of Shuddha Sattva. But because they are connected with Mukhya Parartha Rati, the word Rati has been used for them. Only when Parartha Rati, in one of the 5 primary dominant emotions, recedes into the background. Prabji, scroll down, please. And nourishes the 7 secondary emotions, do those secondary emotions attain to the status of Gauna Rati. Both Swartha and Parartha Mukhya Rati are further divided into 5 categories: Shuddha, unmixed; Dasya, affection and servitude; Sakya, friendship; Vatsalya, parental affection; and Madhura, amorous love. Shuddha Rati is divided into 3 types: Samanya, general; Swacha, transparent; and Shanta, tranquility. The following describes Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's summary of this topic. Shri Bindu Vikasini Vritti, Sthai Bhava is being described here. Sthai Bhava is of 3 varieties: Samanya, general; Swacha, transparent; and one among the 5 varieties of Shanta, Dasya, etc. Samanya, a person who has never taken the association of even a single devotee, firmly situated in his particular perfectional relationship in one of the 5 transcendental rasas, may nevertheless awaken a general Samanya type of Rati when his routine practice of bhajana bhajana matures. This non-specific type of rati of a general person is known as samanya sthai bhava. It is said to be general because it is devoid of the specific characteristics of shanta, dasya, and so on. Swacha, if one has associated in a routine manner with the 5 different types of devotees, all situated in their respective perfectional relationships of shanta, dasya, etc., then upon the maturing of his bhajana, 5 different types of rati may be exhibited in him at different times in accordance with the association he keeps. When he associates with shanta bhaktas, he exhibits shanta rati. With dasya bhaktas, he exhibits dasya rati. With sakhya bhaktas, sakhya rati. With vatsalya bhaktas, vatsalya rati. And with devotees in the amorous mood, kanta bhava, he exhibits madhura rati. Nevertheless, his adherence to any one designated bhava is not firmly fixed. This type of rati is called swachasthai bhava. 5 types of sthai bhava, the different types of rati of devotees firmly established in their specific moods of shanta bhava and so forth, are known as the 5 types of sthai bhava. By the influence of associating with a devotee situated in one specific rasa, only one type of rati among the 5 is awakened in a devotee when his bhajana matures. In the shanta bhakta, shanta rati is awakened. In the dasya bhaktas, dasya rati. In the sakhya bhaktas, sakhya. In the vatsalya bhaktas, vatsalya. And in the madhurya bhaktas, madhurya sthai bhava. Thus, shanta, dasya, sakhya, vatsalya, and madhurya are the 5 primary rasas. They are successively superior in quality. The characteristics of shanta is that the intellect is fixed in Krishna, Krishna nishta buddhi. The characteristics of dasya is attachment to the service of the Lord, seva. The characteristics of sakhya is absence of any reverential feelings for Krishna, Nisambramata. The characteristics of Vatsalya is being imbued with affection or sneha for Krishna. The characteristics of those in Madhurya is that they please Krishna by avoiding him the association of their bodies. Sangi Sangadanena. Thus, each quality should be considered superior to the one preceding it. Additional comment, in Shanta Rati, there is only one quality, Krishna Nishta. In Dasya Rati, there is Krishna Nishta and the quality of servitude, Krishna Seva. Similarly, in Sakhya Rati, the qualities of Krishna Nishta and Krishna Seva are present along with the quality of friendship or absence of reverence. In Vatsalya, the 3 previous qualities are present along with the quality of Sneha or affection in rearing and taking care of Krishna. In Madhura, the 4 previous qualities exist in addition to the quality of Madhura, Nijanga Sangadana, avoiding the association of one's limbs. This is exactly like the development of qualities in the universal elements. In the sky or ether, there is only one quality, sound.
In Vatsalya, the 3 previous qualities are present along with the quality of sneha or affection in rearing and taking care of Krishna. In Madhurya, the 4 previous qualities exist in addition to the qualities of Madhurya, Nijanga Sangadhana, and avoiding the association of one's limb.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt. This sannyasis, right, who are renunciants, but they are not in the company of devotees, right? They are on their own, right? So, am I right?
No, it's never like this.
They should have satsang always?
Well, everybody is in the association all the time.
Prabhuji, for renunciants also, because no, they are. I understood what I understood as they are always absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. They don't like anybody who's coming in contact. No.
First of all, sannyas in Gaudiya family is different. So, sannyas in Gaudiya ashram or Gaudiya family is like Yukta Vairagya, engaging everything in the service of Lord. And the sannyasis are mostly involved with always brahmacharis. No? They are always surrounded by brahmacharis and their disciples. This निर्जन भजन का मतलब पता है क्या होता है? निर्जन भजन मतलब और एकांतिक भजन का मतलब यही है कि you have to be alone or deep inside yourself.
Okay.
You know, it's not that
absorbed within in the service of the Lord
all the time. Yeah, sannyasis are being absorbed. You know, sannyasis mostly preaching the message of the Lord. Mostly Babajis are like, you know, those kind of people who are not preaching much. They are also preaching. See, the problem is we don't understand one thing. Pata hai kya? Unless you are a Bhajananandi, you cannot preach. A perfect bhajanandi can only preach, because he has tasted bhakti. He has tasted that taste which you get in bhajan. So unless you are bhajanandi, you cannot teach. Or unless you're Goshta, you become, if you're not Goshtanandi, then there's no use of your bhajan.
Okay.
So, a perfect bhajanandi can become a perfect Goshtanandi. And to become a perfect Goshtanandi, you need to have bhajan. This is very important. So that's what I say. Just preaching, which we think that is a preaching, is not preaching.
Yes.
Preaching is much more deeper than what you're thinking right now. Got your point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anyways, continue.
This is exactly the development of qualities in the universal elements. In the sky or ether, there is only one quality, sound. In the air, there are two qualities, sound and touch. In fire, there are three qualities, sound, touch, and form. In water, there are four qualities, sound, touch, form, and taste. And in the earth, there is sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Thus, in Shanta, one quality is present. In Dasya, two. In Sakya, three. In Vatsalya, four. And in Mathura, all five qualities are present. The 12 forms of Rati will now be defined. Shantarati, resoluteness or steadiness of Mukhyarati. Yeah, Mukhyarati, classified as Shantarati, resoluteness or steadiness of mind, is known as Sama or equanimity. Previous authorities have declared that the mental disposition by which one renounces the inclination for material sense enjoyment and becomes established in the bliss of the self, Nijananda, is called Sama. The Rati of persons who are predominated by this equanimity and who, due to seeing Sri Krishna as the Paramatma, are devoid of mamata or a sense of possessiveness in relation to Krishna, is called Shantarati. Mamata refers to a deep sense of attachment to Krishna by which one thinks Krishna is my master, Krishna is my friend, and so on. Dasyarati, that Rati by which a devotee considers himself inferior to Krishna and therefore fit to receive the Lord's favor, and which is possessed of a worshipful attitude towards Sri Krishna, is called Dasyarati, also known as Preetirati. This Dasyarati produces attachment to Sri Krishna and destroys attachment to all other things. Sakyarati, a person who possesses a particular type of Rati by which he considers himself to be equal to Krishna in all respects, is called a Sakha or friend of Sri Krishna. Because this Rati induces the sense of equality with Krishna, it is characterized by Vishramba, a deep feeling of intimacy that is devoid of all restraint. This Vishramba Rati is known as Sakyarati. Because of this absence of restraint, there is joking and humorous behavior. Unlike the servants of Krishna, his friends are devoid of the conception that they are subordinate to him. Vatsalya Rati, those who possess that Rati by which they consider themselves Sri Krishna's elders are honorable for him. Their Rati, which is imbued with kindness and favor towards Krishna, is called Vatsalya Rati. In Vatsalya Rati, the activities of nurturing Krishna, offering blessings, touching the chin, and so on are Anubhavas. Mathura Rati, the Rati of the gopis, which is the original cause of the 8 types of amorous enjoyment, Sambhoga, such as remembrance, beholding the beloved, and other similar exchanges between Sri Hari and the dear-eyed gopis, is called Mathura Rati. This is also known as Priyata Rati. In Mathura Rati, sidelong glances, movement of the eyebrows, intimate words, and sweet smiles are Anubhavas. Gauna Rati. First one, Hasarati, the cheerfulness of the heart that is experienced upon witnessing unusual alterations of speech, dress, activities, and so on, is called Hasa or laughter. In Hasa, the eyes expand and the nose, lips, and cheeks vibrate. When laughter arises from speech, dress, and activities that are related to Krishna and receives nourishment from a primary nourishment-giving emotion, Mukhya Parartha Rati, which then recedes into the background, it is transformed into Hasarati. Vismayarati, the expansion of the heart that takes place upon witnessing extraordinary objects, is called Vismaya or astonishment. In Vismaya, there is widening of the eyes, appreciative exclamations, and horripilation. When astonishment arises from seeing the uncommon pastimes of Sri Krishna and receives nourishment from one of the primary nourishment-giving emotions, Mukhya Paratharati, which then recedes into the background, it is transformed into Vismayarati. Utsaharati, a firm attachment and urgency to carry out one's aspired for activity of fighting, giving charity, displaying mercy, or performing religious duties, the fruit of which is praised by sadhus, is called Utsaha, enthusiasm. In Utsaha, there is tremendous exertion or diligence and absence of patience and no dependence on time. When enthusiasm arises in relation to Krishna and receives nourishment from Mukhya Paratharati, which recedes into the background, it is transformed into Utsaharati. Prabhuji, what he means by receding into the background? Self-withdrawal, is it?
Yeah, and like, there is a tremendous exertion or diligence and absence of patience and no dependence on time. When enthusiasm arises in relation to Krishna and receives nourishment from Mukhya Prartha-rati, which which recedes into the background, it is transferred into Utsaharati. Actually, it's excitement.
What he means by receding into the background? Is it absorption into the self, or?
It's like, how can I explain you? In Hindi, I could explain you. Like,
yeah,
like,
you can say in Hindi.
Mukhya Prartha-rati, jaise ki, like, for example, I'm just looking for an example. Ki, jaise, Priya Pritam, they're meeting with each other. And when their excitement is there and they're meeting, and immediately something happens, and you see that, that the kind of, the way you wanted them to meet with each other, they're not meeting in that way.
Okay.
But then immediately some changes happen, and then immediately they're meeting the way you wanted to. So when enthusiasm arises in relation to Krishna and receives nourishment from Mukhya Prartha-rati, which release into the background, it is transferred into Utsaha-rati. For example, that, Priya Pritam, they are meeting together, and like, Krishna needs, maybe like, you have put up the tambulam in his mouth. So the moment the tambulam is gone in his mouth, like, immediately, like, the Mukhya Prartha-rati, he get the nourishment, So, and immediately he is like, wow. So like, Utsaharati is something like the enthusiasm.
Kind of, what do you say, impulsive response.
इस तरीके से बोल सकते हो कि राग ही में रंग रहे हो, रस के समुद्र में दो ही झागी.
Some spontaneous reaction, is it what Prabhuji?
Samudra is shant, but when the Jwar Bhata comes, immediately the wave starts coming, no?
Can I take it as some spontaneous reaction, which is unprecedented?
Yeah, you can say that. Okay. Like, so suddenly the Jwar Bhata comes, and immediately the water level, like, goes, like, the Samudra is very shant. So ras hi rang mein hi rang rahe ho, ras ke samudra mein dui jhaag. Immediately they both, like, enthusiasm is there.
Okay. Shokarati, the sorrow and grief of heart that one experiences due to separation from one's beloved, or upon perceiving that some calamity has befallen the beloved, is called shoka. In shoka, there is lamentation, falling to the ground, sighing, drying of the mouth, and delusion. When that sorrow arises in relation to Sri Krishna and is nourished by Mukhya Paratharati, it is transformed into Shokarati. Krodharati, when confronted with hostility and the heart becomes inflamed, it is called Krodha or anger. In Krodha, there is harshness, frowning, and redness of the eyes. When anger arises in relation to Sri Krishna and is nourished by Mukhya Paratharati, it is transformed into Krodharati. Krodharati is of two types: Krishna Vibhava, with Krishna as its object, and Krishna Vairi Vibhava, with Krishna's enemies or as its object. Bhayarati, the extreme agitation and restlessness of heart that is experienced upon committing committing some offense or seeing a dreadful object is called bhaya or fear. In bhaya, there is hiding oneself, drying of the heart, running away, and delusion. When this fear arises in relation to Sri Krishna and is nourished by Mukhya Parartha Rati, it is transformed into Bhaya Rati. Like Krodha, Bhaya Rati is of two types: Krishna Vibhava with Krishna as its object, and Dushta Vibhava with a wicked person as its object. Jugupsarati, the contraction or shutting of the heart that takes place upon experiencing detestable things, is called Jugupsa or disgust. In Jugupsa, there is spitting, contraction of the mouth, and expressions of condemnation. When this feeling of disgust is nourished by Mukhya Parartha Rati, it is transformed into Jugupsarati. Divisions of the Sthai Bhava. The Sthai Bhava is the permanent and dominant emotion which brings under its control both compatible aviruddha and incompatible viruddha. Prabhuji, actually, I haven't done emotions. The divisions of Sthai Bhava are described as follows. Sthai Bhava, the first classification into Mukhya Rati and Gauna Rati. Mukhya Rati is primary emotions fully composed of Shuddha Sattva. Gauna Rati is secondary emotions nourished by the primary ones, which are Hasa, laughter, Krodha, anger, Vismaya, astonishment, Bhaya, fear, Utsaha, enthusiasm, Jugupsa, disgust, Shoka, sorrow. And the Mukhya Rati into Swartha and Parartha. So Swartha is self-nourishing by compatible and incompatible emotions. Parartha is nourishment giving, supports the secondary emotions. Swartha and Parartha is further divided into Shuddha, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Mathura. Shuddha is divided into, Shuddha is unmixed, divided into Samanya, general, lacking a dominant sentiment for Krishna in one of the five mellows. Swacha, transparent, reflects that Rati with which it comes in contact. Shanta, tranquility. Dasya, affection and servitude. Sakhya, friendship. Vatsalya, parental affection. Mathura, amorous affection. Dasya, Sakhya, and Vatsalya giving rise to Kevala unmixed with any other type of Rati. Example, Rasala, Dasya, Sri Dhama, Sakhya, Nandaraja, Vatsalya. Sankula, a mixture of 2 or 3 kinds of Rati. Example, Uddhava, Dasya mixed with Sakhya. Okay, so Uddhava has Sakhya Rasa also, Prabhuji. Okay.
He is a brother, no? Brother of Krishna. But you give him Madhurya Ras. Krishna sent him. And he got to know, what does it mean to be separated from Krishna?
Yeah. Okay.
And he has learned from the gopis, not from the gopis, but from parents also and from his friends also.
Bhima, Sakhya mixed with Dasya. Mukhara, Vatsalya mixed with Dasya. Presiding deities and colors of Bhakti Rasa. When Mukhya Rati or Gauna Rati combine with their corresponding components of Vibhava, Anubhava. Mukhara is mother of
Kirtida Sundari.
Kirtida Sundari. When Mukhya Rati or Gauna Rati combine with their corresponding components of Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvik Bhava, and Vyabchari Bhava in the heart of a Bhava or Prema Bhakta, they produce an extraordinary taste known as Bhakti Rasa. As Krishna Rati or the Sthai Bhava is of 2 kinds, Bhakti Rasa is of 2 kinds, Mukhya Rasa and Gauna Rasa. Each of the rasas is characterized by a particular color and presiding deity. These are described below. Mukhya Bhakti Rasa, primary rasa, Shanta, tranquility, Shweta, white, and the deity associated is Kapila. Dasya, servitude, Chitra, multicolored, Madhava. Sakhya, friendship, Aruna, reddish brown, and Upendra. Vatsalya, parental, color is Sona or deep red. Narsimha Deva. Prabhuji, but Narsimha Deva comes in Mukhya Bhakti Rasa.
Yeah.
Madhurya, amorous, Shyama, dark, Nanda, Nandana. Oh, okay. Vatsalya, right, okay. Can you please scroll up? Okay. Gauna Bhakti Rasa, secondary rasas, Hasya, laughter, Pandara, yellowish white, Balarama, Adbhuta, astonishment, Pingala, yellowish brown, Kurma, Veera, heroism, Gaura, fair, Kalki, Karuna, compassion, Dhumra, smoke-colored, Raghava, Raudra, anger, Rakta, saffron red, Bhargava, Bhayanaka, fear, Kala, black, Varaha, Bivalsa, disgust, Neela, blue, Meena, Matsya. Bhakti rasa are tasted in 5 ways. The 12 rasas react on the mind in 5 different ways, and thus Bhakti rasa is tasted in 5 varieties. These are described below. Purti, fulfillment. In Shanta rasa, there is satisfaction or fulfillment of heart. Vikasa, opening. In Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and Hasya rasas, there is cheerfulness or opening of the heart. Vistara, expansion. In Veera and Adbhuta rasas, there is expansion of the heart. Vikshepa, distraction. In Karuna and Raudra rasas, the heart becomes distracted. Shobha, disturbance. In Bhayanaka and Bivatsa rasas, the heart becomes disturbed.
Perfect.
Okay.
So already 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, Raj.
Any doubt, question, problem?
Too much of information, probably one more time have to read so that
No, you all have to read. Like, you can read that, when you have time. And then you can make some notes out of it. Chalo, okay, let's get back to Srila Prabhupada. So here we've discussed till this Thai Bhav. Now rest of the things, like, let's go to the index. So after Thai Bhav, then there were only 7-8 more chapters, like, the complete description of Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalas, Madhuryaras, then mixture of Bhavas, overview of Gona Rasa, and compatible and incompatible Rasa, inclusion of Gona Rasa and Mukhya Rasa, Rasa Bhas, and structure overview of the, okay? And reference to Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, okay? 7 chapters. So, ज़्यादा नहीं रह गया, ठीक है? Only 84 pages left, approximately.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हाँ जी, बोलिए.
प्रभु जी, गौना रास्ते को थोड़ा सा और क्लियरली थोड़ा सा और समझा सकते हैं? मतलब ऐसे तो इंग्लिश में ठीक आ रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है, लेकिन अगर इफ यू गो मोर डीपर तो उसका क्या निकलता है भाव गौना रास्ते से?
गौना रास्ते लाइक जैसे लाइक बहुत सिंपल है. चलो देखते हैं. कृष्ण हरे. स्थाई भाव के ना 2 पार्ट हो गए. कौन सा पेज नंबर था यार? हाँ, अगर गौण रसा के बारे में और भी ज्यादा डीपली जानेंगे हम लोग यार, आगे चल के और भी ज्यादा अच्छे तरीके समझ में आएगा. गौण रति जो होती है, ठीक है, देखो अलग अलग तरीके की रतियां बताई गई है. गौण रति होगी जैसे हास रति, विस्मय रति, उत्साह रति, शोक रति, क्रोध रति, भय रति, जगष्प रति. मेन थिंग क्या है कि एक तो प्राइमरी इमोशंस होते हैं, सेकेंडरी इमोशन, ठीक है. प्राइमरी इमोशन क्या होते हैं? जो कि शुद्ध सत्व पे होते हैं. समझ में आया? फुल्ली कंपोज्ड ऑफ शुद्ध सत्व. ओके, सेल्फ जैसे स्वार्थ हो गया या फिर प्रार्थ हो गया, यानी कि नरिशमेंट गिविंग और सपोर्ट द सेकंड इमोशन. जैसे स्वार्थ हो गया, मतलब क्या हो गया? बाय कंपैटिबल एंड इनकम्पैटिबल इमोशन, ठीक है. तो गौण रति जो होती है सेकंड इमोशन है. समझ में आया? एंगर, जैसे लाइक कुछ ऐसे चीजें होती है जो हम लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, कुछ लोग ऐसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. लाइक योर लव ऑफ योर मदर, राइट? शी इज फीडिंग यू फूड, शी इज मेकिंग यू ड्रेस, शी इज बेरिंग यू, शी इज मेकिंग यू रेडी. ऑल these things are one thing, but the gone rati is something when you are not around, then she's thinking about you, and then she's sometimes smiling, sometimes getting angry, sometimes she's very astonished to see you. समझ में आया क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? हाँ, yes. She's thinking about you. She's thinking about you, and immediately she says, अरे आज लाला आएगा ना वापस, तो जब जैसे ही वो देखेगा ना कि मैंने आज रसगुल्ला बनाया है, तो ही विल बी वेरी हैप्पी. दैट इज उत्साह रहती, यू नो व्हाट आई मीन. तो
yes Prabhuji, yes
अच्छा,
yes.
so he was supposed to come for this Diwali, but he did not come. So this is गौण रहती है, secondary emotions. ठीक है,
Okay
जो कि
Prabhuji.
प्राइमरी
Yeah.
जो रहती होती है उसको करते हैं. ठीक है, मतलब इट्स
Okay,
वेरी
yes.
सिंपल. मैं मतलब लेमैन लैंग्वेज में समझा रहा हूँ, क्योंकि टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में जाएंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे.
Okay Prabhuji. Yeah, got it, got it,
ठीक है
got
ना.
it. Yeah.
तो ये ना बड़े ही अलग अलग चीजें हैं कि जो साक्ष्य रति, वात्सल्य रति, अभी तो हम लोग सुनते आ रहे हैं कि साक्ष्य भाव क्या है, वात्सल्य रति क्या है, माधुर्य भाव क्या है. बट एक अलग ही डिस्क्रिप्शन है यहाँ पे कि द रति ऑफ द गोपी विच इज द ओरिजिनल कॉज ऑफ द 8 टाइप्स ऑफ एमरस एंजॉयमेंट, संभोग. ठीक है, सच एज रिमेम्बरेंस, बिलोंगिंग बिलवेड, रति एंड माधुर्य रति. मतलब माधुर्य भाव तो हम लोग सोचते हैं खाली कि माधुर्य भाव में राधा कृष्ण का प्रेम खाली, बट यू नो द एक्सप्लेनेशन इज गिवन इन मोर इलैबोरेट वे. बट लेमैन लैंग्वेज में समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, व्हाट इज माधुर्य रस, दिस इज माधुर्य रस, राइट. एंड व्हाट इज औधर्य रस, कैन समबडी टेल व्हाट इज औधर्य? बोल, इतना सन्नाटा क्यों भाई?
तो जी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है आप जो बोल रहे हैं ना, औधर्य क्या, उसलिए कुछ बता नहीं पा रहे.
जब माधुर्य जो होता है ना, माधुर्य मतलब जो हनी होता है ना, हनी closed in the container, and औधर्य when the honey is actually flowing out of the container. समझ में आया? अब
Yes,
हनी
Prabhuji.
अंदर है,
Yes, yes.
so you cannot taste it. With औधर्य you can easily taste it. तो औधर्य is like, you know, what Mahaprabhu has given to us, औधर्य भाव. ठीक है?
Okay Prabhuji.
Yes. So let's start with the reading of this chapter. Or no, you want to read or you want to read on Friday?
I think छोटा चैप्टर है प्रभुजी, कर सकते हैं मेरे ख्याल से.
तो श्रीता माता जी की जय, मुझ पे डिपेंड करता हो क्या सोचती हैं. चलो, can we read?
Yes.
Shridhar, can we read? Shridhar.
Yes, Prabhuji, sorry.
If you're not going anywhere, read. Huh?
Okay. Chapter 20, Transcendental Mellow. In this second division of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the author offers his respectful obeisances unto Sanatana. This Sanatana can be interpreted as either Sri Krishna himself or as Sanatana Goswami, the elder brother and spiritual master of Rupa Goswami. In the case where Sanatana is accepted to mean Sri Krishna, the obeisances are offered to Krishna because he is naturally so beautiful and because he is the killer of the demon Agha. If it is interpreted to mean Sanatana Goswami, then it is because he is so greatly favored by Rupa Goswami, being always served by him, and because he is the annihilator of all kinds of sinful activities. In this division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the author wants to describe the general symptoms of the transcendental mellow, loving mood of discharging devotional service. In this division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 5 general topics: Vibhava, special symptoms. Vibhava, special symptoms or causes of ecstasy. Anubhava, subsequent ecstasy. Satvik bhava, constitutional or existential ecstasy. Vyabchari bhava, aggressive ecstasy. And sthai bhava, fervent or continuous ecstasy. The word rasa used in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is understood by different persons differently because the exact English equivalent is very difficult to find. But as we have seen our spiritual master translate this word rasa into mellow, we shall follow in his footsteps and also translate that word in that way. The particular loving mood or attitude relished in the exchange of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called rasa or mellow. The different types of rasa, when combined together, together help one to taste the mellow of devotional service in the highest degree of transcendental ecstasy. Such a position, although entirely transcendental to our experience, will be explained in this section as far as possible, following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. Without relishing some sort of mellow or loving mood in one's activities, no one can continue to perform such activities. Similarly, in the transcendental life of Krishna consciousness and devotional service, there must be some mellow or specific taste from the service. Generally, this mellow is experienced by chanting, hearing, worshipping in the temple, and being engaged in the service of the Lord. So when a person feels transcendental bliss, that is called relishing the mellow. To be more clear, we may understand that the various feelings of happiness derived from discharging devotional service may be termed the mellows of devotional service. This relishing of transcendental mellow in discharging devotional service cannot be experienced by all classes of men, because this sweet loving mood is developed only from one's previous life's activities or by the association of unalloyed devotees. As explained above, association with pure devotees, the beginning of faith in devotional service. Only by developing such faith in the association of a pure devotee, or by having in one's previous life executed devotional activities, can one actually relish the mellow of devotional service. In other words, this transcendental bliss is not to be enjoyed by any common man unless he is so extraordinarily fortunate as to be in association with devotees or to be continuing his previous birth's devotional activities. The gradual process of development to the state of devotional service is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. The beginning is to hear about Lord Krishna in the association of devotees who have themselves cleansed their hearts by association. Hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord will result in one's feeling transcendental bliss always. It is also explained in Bhagavad Gita that for one who has actually come to the spiritual platform, the first symptom visible will be that he is always joyful. This joyous life is attained by one's reaction to reading Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, or else from associating with persons who are very interested in the spiritual life of Krishna consciousness, specifically those who have made the determination to achieve the favor of Govinda by being engaged in transcendental loving service at his lotus feet. Being encouraged by such a feeling, one who is constantly engaged in discharging the regulative principles of devotional service in such a way as to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, develops two principles of compelling force which come under the heading of Vibhava. Thus, one enjoys transcendental bliss. There are several origins or causes for this compulsive love of Krishna, such as Krishna himself, the devotees of Krishna, and Krishna's playing on the flute. The effect is sometimes loving and sometimes stunted. There are 8 transcendental symptoms found in the body during ecstasy, and all of them are possible only by a mixture of the above-mentioned 5 ecstatic divisions. Without some mixture of these 5 ecstatic principles, one cannot relish transcendental bliss. The cause or basis for relishing transcendental mellow is exactly what we mean by Vibhava. This Vibhava is divided into 2, namely basic and impelling, or impetus giving. In the Agni Purana, the description of Vibhava is given as follows. The basis from which ecstatic love is born is called Vibhava, which is divided into 2, basic and impelling. In other words, there are 2 kinds of ecstatic love. The object of basic ecstatic love is Krishna and his devotee. Lord Krishna is the object of basic ecstatic love, and his pure devotee, a reservoir of such love, is the object of impelling ecstatic love. Impelling ecstatic love, then, is that love which develops when one sees an object that reminds him of Krishna. Lord Krishna, who is the possessor of inconceivable potencies and qualities of transcendental knowledge and bliss, is the basic cause of ecstatic love. Lord Krishna also becomes the reservoir, impetus of ecstatic love by his different incarnations and expansions. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a statement in connection with the Brahma Vimohana Leela, which demonstrates something of the impelling or impetus-giving feature of ecstatic love. When Brahma was deluded by Krishna, who expanded himself into so many cowhead boys, calves and cows, Krishna's elder brother Sri Baladeva, a direct expansion of Krishna himself, felt astonishment and said, "How wonderful it is that my ecstatic love for Krishna is again being attracted to so many cowherd boys, calves, and cows. He was struck with wonder by thinking in this way. This is one of the examples in which Krishna himself becomes the object and reservoir of ecstatic love in the impelling aspect.
Oh, Krishna, ठीक है, तो this is the beginning of the new chapter now, ठीक है, मजा आएगा भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु पढ़ने में भी, भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु बिंदु पढ़ने में भी जितना मजा आया, ठीक है ना?
Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. I feel like, just one step ahead from what I have been before.
You will feel after some time that you're far much ahead of so many people. But there's no race, as I said.
It's not a rat race. Yes, Prabhuji, but still.
It's not a rat race. You see, I'm telling you one thing. Your bhakti is your property. You have full right to cheat, to lie, and to hide your own bhakti. And the development of your own bhakti is in your own hands. I always say that if you really want to understand the purpose of life, that you have to be introspective, Whenever you're doing any activity, whenever you're performing any activity, ask yourself, why are you doing it? What is the reason? The day we will start talking to ourselves, अभी हम अपने आपस में बात करते हैं ना, पिक्चर में देखते हैं ना हम लोग, एक गलत, एक काले रंग के कपड़े में, एक व्हाइट कलर के कपड़े में खड़ा हुआ व्यक्ति, और काले रंग का कपड़े का बंदा कह रहा है कि ये गलत काम कर ले, व्हाइट कह रहा है कि नहीं करना, बट वो सब पिक्चरों में देखते हैं और हंसते हैं, but actually we have to have that particular attitude in our normal life also. We all need to understand that the purpose of life is been told by our acharyas, that you have to love Krishna, you have to learn to love Krishna, you have to go back to Krishna, and the process they have given to us. But the process was not individually given to us. You know what I mean? Everybody is individual. We all have decided to go to Jagannath Puri. कमल जो है उसने लिया पूरी एक्सप्रेस, हाँ, और श्रीता माता जी ने लिया राजधानी, सृष्टि जो थी उसने सोचा कि मैं बस से जाऊंगी, एंड राधानुगा माता जी जो है उन्होंने ली फ्लाइट. So destination is same, right? But everybody has his own way. So you cannot say that rat race is one thing, the bhed chal is also one thing. You cannot just ask everybody to follow the same procedure throughout his life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I've seen people are chanting like this, and I've seen that the way they are chanting is so displeasing to my ears. What to speak of, I don't know other people, about other people. Maybe we have to be clear about what we are chanting, but doesn't mean that you have to chant like this purposely, that you have to hear each and every thing. You should listen to your mantra, because when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, when we are chanting slow, automatically we can increase the speed, because when our words are clear, when the thing is on our tongue, कोई भी मंत्र है, कोई भी मंत्र करने से पहले हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसको स्लोली बोलते हैं, जैसे सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. एंड देन आपने बोला हम सर्वस्य प्रभो मता सर्वं परिवर्तयति मत्वा भजते मां बुद्ध भावा समन्विता, या फिर बोला सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. I'm able to chant this particular mantra so fast because I've already chanted that mantra so many times slow. But that doesn't mean that every time I have to chant this mantra slow. And then after chanting mantra, and then after getting a speed of chanting mantra, then there should be some provision. What do you have to meditate on? I taught you the other day very easy thing, that open the deity dresses, the deity picture, and just think about the deities. Close your eyes and then think about the deities. And then again open your eyes and again see, oh, how are the dots? Then close your eyes and then imagine those dots. And then again open your eyes and then see the dots colored. okay, I forgot to do the color before. Now the combination of color is this. And then again open your eyes and then you see how the pagadi has been tied and what all things are there on the pagadi. So these are very small things, very small things. But it means a lot. Unless we do the Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela, all four things keeping in our mind, we will not be able to reach the destination. भटकते रहेंगे यार, ऐसे ही भटकते रहेंगे. ऐसे बहुत सारे तुम देखोगे लोग कि 30 साल से माला कर रहे हैं, but they have no nourishment. I mean, like, I don't know, they may have nourishment in their heart. ठीक है, when they are not chanting, they are feeling vacuum. Like, I'm not able to chant, so I'm feeling very, I'm not feeling good about it. They might be enjoying following Ekadashi, they might be enjoying being in the association of devotees, but then एक level है, वो level भी कब तक हम करेंगे? Everybody should always try to move on in life, and everybody should always try to grow in life. This is really, really very important. I don't want 7 to 8 people in the group. I am very happy to have these 5 and Anshu Babbar 6, or maybe Nidai comes sometimes like 7, or maybe 2 3 more people. That's it. And like if together we will have like so much of intensity, and when we will start doing bhajan, and one of us become perfect, like Shrishti become perfect, तो हम लोग सृष्टि के हाथ को पकड़ लेंगे, and then Shrishti will take us back to Godhead. All of us.
All your mercy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, nobody knows कि तुम्हारा क्या level है यार. हर व्यक्ति ऐसा सोचता है कि मैं 6 महीने पहले आया हूं तो मैं senior devotee. This was a statement told by Punjabi devotees, because when I joined, all my seniors, they treat me on their level now. They always talk to me as a friend, and they say, Prabhu, we used to behave like seniors, but no, we are friends. There's no need to talk about seniority and this thing. So they don't want to be senior to anybody now, after understanding that there's no senior and there's no junior. It's all about a process in which everybody is working together. Somebody is ahead of you, somebody is behind, but we have to increase our speed. Andrew used to say one very amazing thing. The biggest service I have for my spiritual master is to bringing this soul back to Godhead. अपने लिए कहते थे वो, मुझे भगवत धाम वापस आना है, बस मेरे गुरु के लिए वही सर्विस बेस्ट. Such kind of conviction, such kind of enthusiasm is actually made him what he is, what we are doing today, because of him, chanting the holy name of the Lord all the time. Getting your point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So unless you have done bhajan, you cannot preach. And if you're not preaching and doing only bhajan, then there would not be any use of your bhajan. Right? Very important. Chalo, whatever Easter Goshti we have done. Any question you have?
यस प्रभु जी, मेरे को एक पॉइंट रखना था. आपने जो आज ये पॉइंट रखा है, ये बहुत दिनों से मेरे दिमाग में भी था कि जब हम मंदिर जाते हैं तो हमें बताया जाता है कि हमारा लाइफ का एम है प्रचार करना, क्योंकि प्रभुपाद का मिशन वो है. लेकिन मैंने हमेशा इस चीज को सोचा है कि प्रचार कोई तब करे जब उसका भजन बहुत गहरा हो. मतलब कोई आपसे इंस्पायर क्यों होगा जब आपकी लाइफ में भी वो इम्पैक्ट होगा तभी.
ये एक्चुअली ये मुझे रियलाइजेशन कब हुई थी. एक बार मेरे ग्रुप में एक लगा था संजय, तो कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि some unfortunate incident happened in the house. Like that my grandmother's altar got burned, and then उसमें क्या हुआ, जो भगवान कृष्ण थे ना, उनकी आंखों में से, जो गोपाल थे, उनकी आंखों में से वो कोई कुछ रेड कलर का निकला या क्या था समझ में नहीं आया. कुछ लाख थी, सब कुछ वो जल गया. एंड वो पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे मैं बहुत टेंशन में आ गया था, बिकॉज बहुत अशुभ होता है कि मंदिर में आग लगना. पर फिर ग्रैंड मदर बेचारी को समझ में नहीं आया, उनके हाथ से दो बत्ती छूट गई एंड उन्हें पता नहीं चला, उन्हें पर्दा लगा के चली गई और वो जलता रहा. तो क्या हुआ कि आई वाज वेरी टेंस्ड, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट रीजन सो I went for my Bhagavad Bhakti Viksha class, and I gave a Bhakti Viksha class, and after that after Sunday, we again met. Thursday, I had a Bhakti Riksha. Then Sunday, I met another person, Sanjay, friend of mine, on Sunday. Thank you. So what happened? I asked him. He said, Prabhuji, I'm going through so much of pain. You know, this is happening. My uncle has, he asked me if I go to ISKCON, he will not entertain me anymore. And he has asked me to leave, you know, he had asked me to leave home. I said, you're going through so much of problem. Why you didn't tell me? And then immediately said, because I saw you in so much of tension on in our last class. So I felt that you are already struggling with your problem. Why should I disturb you? And that time I realized how important or how difficult it is to actually become a leader, you know, or to become a senior devotee. When you are, you know, I mean, tension is in the life of everybody, right? Tension is in the life of everyone. But like we have to be very careful about it, you know. So we become, it's very easy for us to claim to become a, you know, what do you call, a senior devotee and all. But this is definitely there. If I'm not in bliss, I would not be able to give that bliss to anybody.
Yes,
If
yes,
I have,
yes.
if I have 1,000 rupees, then only I can give you 100 rupees if you're asking for it.
Yes,
Right?
Prabhuji, that is my point. Like impactful बनाने के लिए पहले खुद में impact होना चाहिए वो.
Exactly. खुद में impact होना चाहिए. खुद की वाक शक्ति अच्छी होनी चाहिए. वाक शक्ति अच्छी होनी चाहिए.